Hello everyone, this is Logan589XP here, back for another discussion video. I haven't done one of these in a couple weeks, but there are actually quite a few topics that I want to talk about. Some of them are old, some of them are new, but yeah, well, let's just get to it. So first things first is the Game Awards, just kind of everything surrounding the Game Awards, because of course the Game Awards is fast approaching. It's happening in, I believe, 2 or 3 weeks. It's happening on December 12th at, I believe it starts at 5:30. That might just be the pre-show, though. It might actually start at like 6 or 6:30. I'm not really quite sure, but according to like the Game Awards themselves, it says 5:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on December 12th, which is later than they normally do it. Normally it's on the 6th or the 7th or the 8th, but I guess this year they decided to do it on the 12th for some reason. Not really sure why, but that's just kind of the way it is. So sure, why not, I guess. So first things first, let's talk about the nominees, because the nominees have been actually a bit controversial this year. Normally I don't think they're that controversial, but this year seems to have sparked some controversy. Nothing super extreme or anything, but definitely some stuff that's got some people very curious. I'm not going to go over everything. I will talk about, I'm not going to go over all different categories because not all of them particularly interest me. Besides, if you want to see all the categories and who was nominated for what and what games are nominated for what, you can of course just go to the website, thegameawards.com/nominees, if you want to see everything for yourself, and of course vote for what you want to vote for. So I'm not going to go over like all the different categories because not all of them particularly interest me, but I will talk about the couple that are kind of interesting. So first things first, this might not be the most glamorous thing to start with, but it's just kind of interesting, is Family Game. Best Family Game of the Year. Literally all the games in this category are Nintendo games. Like last year, I believe all of them except for one were Nintendo games, but this year, literally all of them are Nintendo games. Luigi's Mansion 3, Ring Fit Adventure, Mario Maker 2, Smash Ultimate, and Yoshi's Crafted World. We'll talk about Smash in a bit because that's the most interesting part of this whole thing and the one I want to get into the most, but we gotta get over everything else first. Next is Fighting Game, Best Fighting Game of the Year. This is actually probably one of the most controversial. It's probably the most controversial part. It's tied with the other thing that we'll talk about in a second. But yeah, Best Fighting Game. Let me go and scroll to that real quick. So of course, there have been a couple fighting games that came out this year, most notably Mortal Kombat 11 came out earlier this year. We also got Samurai Showdown from SNK. We got Dead or Alive 6 from Team Ninja and Koei Tecmo. We got Jump Force. We'll talk about that in a second. And then, of course, we got Smash Ultimate. So yeah, Jump Force. I haven't played Jump Force. I've just heard really bad things about it. And it's a shame because I remember seeing that reveal trailer like last year, where like it was like New York and it was destroyed or whatever, and they had like Luffy and Goku and like all that stuff going on. It looked really cool. And then the game came out and everyone was just kind of like, man, this game is yeah. I know there's definitely some fans for it, but the majority of people seem to hate this game. I don't know if it's... I know some of it's like the art style, some of it's just the characters, some of it's the gameplay, but overall I think most people would agree that Jump Force was a resounding failure. So people were like, really? This game is nominated? But I mean, think about it. There's only so many fighting games, right? Like, I mean, Samurai Showdown, Mortal Kombat 11... What else came out this year that wasn't Jump Force? I mean, I don't pay attention to every single fighting game that's coming out, but what other game is there? Is there any other game that I'm aware of? I don't think, another SNK, no, there's a game I'm missing. Soul Calibur, no, Soul Calibur came out earlier. Soul Calibur came out earlier, I think. Darn it, I forget what the game was, because I know people were talking about, like, why wasn't this game nominated, but Jump Force was. Okay, let me go ahead and look it up for myself before I forget, because for some reason, I am an idiot right now that doesn't remember what games came out this year. Let's see, yeah, Jump Force, Dead or Alive 6, Fantasy Strike, haven't heard of that one, Mortal Kombat 11, Samurai Showdown, Kill the Kill If, Grand Blue, Fantasy Versus, Punch Planet. Okay, so yeah, so basically, okay, I guess like Grand Blue might be one that might be the one people are talking about. That's probably I think that is the one people were talking about. Like, why wasn't this game on here, but we got Jump Force instead? I mean, the reason why Jump Force is on there is because it's more well known, because it has all of, like, you know, all the. I know they're not strictly anime characters because, you know, they come from manga and whatnot, but, you know, it has all of the anime characters. You know, oh, it's got Deku and Goku and Naruto, and there's I think there's the guy from Death Note. Like, okay, I'm not really an anime person. Don't yell at me. You get my point, right? Like, people know what Jump Force is. That's probably the only reason why it's on there, and because of the characters it has. Even if the game itself isn't all that great, but I've talked about this section enough. The main thing, of course, is Smash is on here, and of course, and I'm not really going to talk about any of the other stuff because it doesn't. Actually, no, there's one other thing before we get to Game of the Year. Best multiplayer game of the year. Let me scroll down to that. Also, for best indie game, Goose Game is on there, so no shocker there, but it is on there. Role-playing game, we got Kingdom Hearts 3 on there. I know that may or may not be controversial, but I mean, no duh, it's on there. Cadence of Hyrule is on here for music, so that's kind of interesting. We got Crash Team Racing for the sports/racing game. That's cool. Fire Emblem Three Houses is on here for strategy game, but not RPG, and that has a lot of people really pissed because they want to see, like, this. Of course, people out there really want to see it be in Game of the Year, but I don't think it was ever realistically going to get that high. But hey, it's nominated for something. I'd take that win. Beat Saber is there for VR game. It's probably the only VR game I really know all that well, and looks really cool. If I had a PlayStation VR headset or an Oculus Rift or anything like that, I would totally play it. Ongoing game, it's got the typical, esports games, got CS:GO and Overwatch and all the stuff you expect. Here we go, multiplayer games. So we got Apex, Borderlands 3, Modern Warfare, The Division 2. That's a bit surprising that it's on there, honestly, but sure, why not? And then Tetris 99. Like, look, I like Tetris 99, but this is kind of weird. Like, Smash gets family game and fighting game, but not multiplayer game? No, let's put Tetris over that. That'd be really funny to see this game win, honestly. That'd be really funny, but I feel like that's the only reason why it's even on here, is just for the memes, but hey, if it wins, I ain't complaining. But that's a really weird pick. So okay, enough about that, and I'm not gonna talk about everything else. Again, if you want to see it, go to the website yourself. So let's get to the big one, the one that everyone cares about. The game of the year. I'm gonna go through in order. Control from Remedy, the same people that made Alan Wake and Quantum Break. Death Stranding, no shocker there. Resident Evil 2, the remake, that I heard was really good. Sekiro Shadows Die Twice from Software, the guys that made Dark Souls and Bloodborne, also have heard really good things about that. The Outer Worlds, which is, of course, came out fairly recently. It's from Obsidian. People that made Fallout New Vegas, Stick of Truth, etc., etc. Also heard that was really good. And here's the big one, the one I thought would never happen. Then again, I didn't think it'd be on here at all, but I definitely didn't think it'd be on here. Smash Ultimate is nominated for Game of the Year. And you want to know something? This is a very minor thing, but I like that they did this. For the Game Awards, they list the people that make the games. That might sound like the most obvious thing ever, but I mean, like, they list, like, everyone. Like, for example, like, Tetris 99, right? Do any of you even know who made Tetris 99? Because it's not the Tetris company, and it's not Nintendo. It's actually a developer called Akira that you have literally never heard of, because they're kind of one of those ghost developers that, like, they make games, but they don't really, like, promote themselves at all. You don't see their logo anywhere. There's another developer like that Nintendo has worked with called, I believe they're called Tosei. Tosei. They have, like, a tree as their icon. Yeah, Tosei Software. Yeah. They made the Game and Watch Gallery games. They've made Dragon Ball games. They've made the legendary Starfy games. If anyone remembers those, I'm stuttering right now because I'm talking too fast. Yeah, they've made a lot of games. They've published a lot of games, but you never see their logo anywhere because they're like a ghost developer. This is kind of funny. So the vice president of the U.S. division of Tosei, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, quote, "Our policy is not to have a vision. Instead, we follow our customers' visions. Most of the time, we refuse to put our name on the games, not even staff names. As such, Tosei has gained a reputation for being a ghost developer." That last part wasn't the guy talking. That's just what the Wikipedia article said. But yeah, So Akira is kind of like that. They don't straight up say it or anything, but they're kind of like, they make it stuff, but they don't like promote it at all. They don't even list their stuff in the credits or anything. I mean, does Tetris 99 even have credits? But okay, I'm getting off track here. Point is, on the Game Awards they list all the developers, all the people that were involved, and I like that because Sora and Bandai Namco are listed right alongside Nintendo for Smash Ultimate because Bandai Namco's logo. Bandai Namco's logo is not on the game. You won't see it anywhere on the packaging. The only place you will see it is the little copyright thingy where it's like 2018 Nintendo / Bandai Namco / Square Enix / like all the other developers or all the other like people that have their characters in the game or whatever. That kind of stuff. But you will never see their logo anywhere, except when you beat Classic Mode, when the credits show, and it's like Bandai Namco Studios, Sora, then Nintendo, and yeah. So again, I'm kind of rambling here, but I just kind of wanted to bring it up because Bandai Namco and Sora barely get any recognition. We all just call it Nintendo. It's a Nintendo game. I mean, it is a Nintendo game, but it's not made by Nintendo. I mean, we all know that Sakurai makes it, but of course Sakurai works with Bandai Namco. It was the same for Smash 4 as well. I guess what I'm trying to say is we all know that the game is made by Bandai Namco and Sora, but like Nintendo never promotes it. Because it's a first-party game, of course. Okay, Okay, enough talking about the companies. Point is, Smash Ultimate's nominated for Game of the Year. And Family Game, and Fighting Game. But mainly, what matters is Game of the Year. I did not think this was going to happen. And that's mainly for one reason. The game came out too late. You want to know how late it was? How about literally hours after the Game Awards last year ended? Literally, like, the Game Awards was like, the night of December 6th. So, midnight December 7th was literally like 2 or 3 hours after the Game Awards. The game literally came out like basically right after the Game Awards ended last year. And of course people had review copies, and if you were like in Australia, you could like make an Australian account or whatever and get the game that way. Like, the game was like basically either out or like right about to come out. So I did not think it had a chance in hell of being nominated for anything this year, especially because Xenoblade 2 didn't get nominated for anything last year because it wasn't nominated for anything in 2017 because the game came out like a week before the Game Awards, so that would have been way too soon. So if it didn't get nominated in 2018, why would Smash get nominated in 2019? But I don't know why. Maybe it's just because Smash is that popular and because it is getting all this continued support, or because the game sold really well, or just, I don't know what the reason is, but for whatever reason, Smash is on here, and that is awesome. Needless to say, I want Smash to win. But at the same time, if one of the other games wins, hint hint, Death Stranding, because let's be real here, that's the only other game that's going to probably win. No big deal, right? It's not the end of the world if Smash doesn't win. Just being nominated is really nice. Just knowing that the game is nominated, despite being technically a 2018 game. It's nice to see. So, yeah, I guess since I kind of brought it up, let's talk about Death Stranding. Because, that combined with Jump Force is the most controversial aspect of this entire Game Awards this year. Now, I don't think anyone is surprised that Death Stranding was nominated for Game of the Year. Everyone saw that from a mile away. no matter what, even if Jeff Keighley wasn't involved, it was going to be nominated anyway because, you know, it's Kojima. It's his big comeback after Konami kicked him out and wouldn't let him accept his award in 2015. Hey, yeah, does anyone remember that? Anyone remember in 2015 when, you know, like, Metal Gear Solid 5, I forget what it won for, but like Metal Gear Solid 5, did it win Game of the Year? I think it might have won Game of the... If it didn't win Game of the Year, it won, like, a award. They won at least a award. I think it might have been Game of the Year. You know, let me look. Let me look real quick. I think... I want to say it won that year. But I really don't know. It's 2015. Game of the Year. No. The Witcher 3 won that year. But what did it win? Oh yeah, it won best. Okay, it won best action adventure and best score/soundtrack. So it won 2 awards, and Kojima couldn't be there because Konami were being Konami, and it wouldn't let him. So that really sucks. And Jeff Keighley even said on stage, so you're probably, yeah, Mr. Kojima couldn't be here today because Konami wouldn't let him because he still has a contract and like, or whatever. And literally everyone in the background was just like, boo, boo. And then there was like that guy that came up on stage and that was like, okay, I'm gonna obviously tone this down because this isn't really my thing. But he said, "Screw Konami." It wasn't "screw Konami." It was a different word, but you know what I mean, right? Like if any of you guys remember that was a classic moment right there. I believe there was something like that in 2017. Was it 2015 with the guy that like flipped off Konami or whatever? I want to say it was 2015. It was either 2015 or 2016 because I believe because Kojima was there in 2016 to show off Death Stranding. So I don't remember what year it was, but you know what I'm talking about. There was that guy that like said "screw Konami," but he didn't actually say "screw Konami." He said a different word. Okay, enough about that. But yeah, no one's surprised that Death Stranding is nominated for Game of the Year. The thing that's interesting is that's nominated for so many categories. Like, it's nominated for Game of the Year. It's nominated for Action Adventure Game, Art Direction, Audio Design. Scroll. Game Direction. Narrative. Performance. Norman Reedus is nominated for his performance in Death Stranding. Score and music. Yeah, so he's nominated for like 5, 6, maybe even 7 categories, like grand total the game is nominated for. So that's pretty crazy. Even I'll admit that much. But like, even if Smash was nominated for that much, I'd still find that weird because it's like, really? Smash is nominated for 7 categories? Like, even like, that's cool, but it's also really weird. But yeah, so yeah, Death Stranding is nominated for like at least half the categories on here, if not more. So now take that how you will. Jeff Keighley, because I know everyone's like, oh, it's only nominated for that many categories because, you know, Jeff Keighley and Kojima are like best friends or whatever. So, but he disproved that because he said that he has no involvement in the decision-making process when it comes to picking the games. And he's not wrong because he even linked. He said, go to the website. If you go to the website and you look at how the games are voted upon, it'll say straight up that Jeff Keighley doesn't have any say in it. So, yeah. However, there is something. So yeah, Jeff Keighley, of course, he's like the main like head honcho, but he doesn't have any say in that particular aspect. The advisory board has Activision, the president that I don't really know his name, Lisa Su from AMD. It's got another guy. It's got a guy from EA, or a girl from EA, or her name's Laura. Yeah, Laura Malil, Chief Studios Officer. Okay, Google, particularly the guy behind Stadia. Like, they even have the Stadia logo. It's kind of funny. The guy behind Stadia. So take that for what you will. Kojima is on the advisory board, to be fair. Phil Spencer, Doug Bowser, Stephen Ma, he's a guy from Tencent, which I know some people are not going to be a fan of, but whatever. Rockstar, Sony, the CEO of Ubisoft, Valve, and then the president of Warner Bros. Interactive Entertainment. That's just the advisory board, but those aren't the guys that actually vote on the games. That goes to a different set of like 70 something publications throughout the entire world. But basically what I'm trying to say is Jeff Keighley doesn't have a say in what games get nominated, is what I'm trying to say. So he's not wrong, but it is still very interesting. At the same time, though, I'm also not that. I mean, again, no one is surprised that it's nominated for Game of the Year. It was going to be nominated whether the game was a masterpiece or an absolute bomb, and I know there's a whole debate over whether or not the game is actually good or not. I think it'll be like Kingdom Hearts 3, where the more time goes on, the more people will like it, but we'll just have to wait and see. Point is, Death Stranding is nominated for all those different categories, and obviously Game of the Year. So, will Death Stranding, just by virtue of how many categories it's nominated for, it's going to win at least one category. It's going to. It's nominated for like 8 different categories. It's going to win something. Will it win Game of the Year? Obviously, very possible, but not a lock-in. Because the other games on here totally have a chance, like Sekiro, Outer Worlds, like even Resident Evil 2, I could maybe see it. But of course, the main competition Death Stranding is going to be Smash. I've already seen it across the web. It's basically, like, obviously there's people that want to see these other games win, and that's totally fine. But the majority of people, from what I can tell, it's basically Death Stranding versus Smash Ultimate. Both of these games are going to win at least one category. Without a doubt. I mean, Death Stranding is nominated for, 7 or 8 or whatever. And Ultimate's only nominated for 3. But Ultimate is in... Okay, Best Fighting Game... Okay, I think that the Best Fighting Game award is going to go to Mortal Kombat. I think it's going to go to Mortal Kombat. I mean, would I like to see Smash win it? Obviously, but I think it's going to go to Mortal Kombat. Best Family Game is probably the one that isn't, the other one that probably would have the best chance at winning, because, I mean, Smash Ultimate versus all the other games on that list, which are all Nintendo games, which is kind of interesting, but come on, it's going to win that category, because Smash Ultimate is, like, easily the best game on that list. In my opinion, of course, but I just think that it's probably going to win that category. If it's not that, it'll probably be Luigi's Mansion 3. If Ultimate doesn't win the family category, it'll be Luigi's Mansion 3. Or maybe Mario Maker 2. It is not going to be Crafted World, and it's not going to be Ring Fit Adventure. Sorry, fans of those games, but that's not going to happen. But yeah, so Death Stranding versus Smash Ultimate is basically the main showdown of the Game Awards 2019. So now that we've talked about the Game of the Year and all the other categories, let's talk about what they're going to show. Because of course the Game Awards, because let's be real here. Well, obviously seeing all the awards are nice. The main reason why most people watch is for Game of the Year and game announcements. Those are the main reasons why people watch the Game Awards. It's for the Game of the Year and game announcements. Especially the game announcements. Most of the people I know only watch it for the... I mean, I would probably watch it because it is the big event, right? It's the big game award. It's like it's the Oscars, or of the gaming industry, which I know people will debate on, because I know the Oscars aren't exactly the most beloved thing nowadays, but you get my point, right? It's the big event. It's the E3 of awards for gaming. So it's the big event, the one that counts, the one that is going to get the most attention, the one that's going to get the one that gets the most respect, the one that gets it's the big one. It's the big one. No offense to any of the other game shows out there. I know that I know Smash Ultimate won a bunch of awards in Japan because the Japanese Game Awards, which are separate from the U.S. one, but like it's called like the Japan Game Awards. Smash Ultimate won like I think 3 categories there, so that was pretty cool. And of course it won a couple of awards before then as well, because Sakurai even showed it on the Terry presentation at the beginning. He showed how much he showed like, hey, like Smash Ultimate has won 5 or 6 awards. He's like panning across the screen and showing all of them. And of course he's like I really appreciate all of you for the game coming this far and all that stuff. But okay, enough about that. So, game announcements. I'm not going to talk about all of the possible game announcements because I don't really have a... Well, okay, let's talk about the ones that we do know. So, I believe Xbox is going to have something there. I don't remember what game it was, but they're going to have something there. Half-Life Alyx is going to get a whole thing there. That's going to be a big draw, I know. It's probably like the biggest non-Nintendo announcement that they're probably going to have is like Half-Life Alyx stuff. We're probably going to get at least one big game announcement, like one big non-Nintendo game announcement. Like, for example, in 2017, we got Sekiro announcement. 2018, we got Mortal Kombat announcement. 2019, there's going to be something. I don't know what it's going to be, but there's going to be something. Some big AAA game announcement from one of the big studios that everyone knows. And then we have the Nintendo announcements, which, I mean, in my opinion, are the biggest ones. But of course, I'm a Nintendo fan, so I'm gonna say that. But even then, just like overall, from what I've seen on the internet, the Nintendo announcements are by far the biggest ones that like the Game Awards has. That's one of the big draws is the Nintendo announcements. And this year, there are a couple possible scenarios. The first one, and the one that's the most obvious, and is literally a lock-in. The point where at this point, Sakurai might as well just say on Twitter that it's happening because it's so obviously going to happen. That, of course, is Smash Ultimate 5th Fighters Pass character reveal. Trailer, everything. I might even go as far as to say day of, right after the Game Awards. That probably won't happen, but it's possible. I could see it, but realistically, it's probably going to be like, January or February 2020. But yeah, we're 150% guaranteed. I will bet real money on that. I am being 100% serious. I would bet money, real money, that Smash 5th character is going to be there. Because it's so obvious. Like, okay, there's the whole thing of like, oh yeah, it's nominated for a bunch of categories and Game of the Year. But even if it wasn't nominated for anything, it would be there because they did it last year, and it was obviously a roaring success. They revealed Joker last year, and people went crazy. I mean, people go crazy for Smash all the time, but you know what I mean, right? Like, come on, they literally did it last year. It went insanely well. Why would you not do it again? Especially because it would be really awkward to have this long month, a couple months period between characters, right? Like, obviously, characters don't come out, like, super frequently. Like, they come out like every 2-3 months, right? Like Piranha Plant came out in February, Joker came out in April. Then we had like a 3-4 month gap where Hero came out in the very end of July 30th, I believe. Then Banjo came out on September 4th, right after the Nintendo Direct, and then Terry came out on November 6th, earlier this month. So more than likely, yeah, January, February, February at the absolute latest, which is already confirmed because on the Fighters Pass itself, if you go and look at it, it'll say that all of the content in this will be released by February 2020. So the last character is coming out by February 2020, which also lines up with what happened with Smash 4, where Corrin and Bayonetta came out in February as well. So, fifth character, 100% happening. Will it be released the day of? I think it's possible. Like, Nintendo was done. It's out right now. Like, for example, with the Champions Ballad, we got the whole "it's out right now," or after the awards. But I think realistically, yeah, we're gonna get the trailer. We're gonna get the whole trailer, big reveal. A Smash reveal, you all know what you all know what they're like. We're gonna get the reveal, and it's gonna be early 2020. I don't think we're gonna get a date. I think it's just gonna be early 2020. Maybe I wouldn't be surprised if they just straight up say February 2020, but it's at least gonna be early 2020. However, I do not think that's gonna be it. I think there is a. I'm not gonna say this is 100% like I did for the actual reveal, but I think there is a good chance we will get a Fighters Pass Season 2 teaser. And by teaser, I mean like they will literally just say, "Hey, this exists. It's coming. Pre-order now on the eShop," and that'll be it. Like, like the thing, like, where it's like Fighters Pass and it has like the 5 slots and they have question marks on them. They will literally use that again. It'll say Fighters Pass Season 2 or Fighters Pass 2 or whatever the heck they want to call it. I'm going to call it Season 2 because most of the other fighting games use the season number, like Season 2, 3, 4, whatever. So it'll say, Super Smash Bros. Ultimate Fighters Pass Season 2, now in development, coming 2020 or whatever, and it'll have the 5 slots with the question marks. And it'll be like and that'll be all we get. We're not gonna get a character, nothing. We're not gonna get anything. It'll just be the pass is coming, and you might be able to pre-order it because you could pre-order the Fighters Pass when it was first revealed. The Fighters Pass was first revealed in the final Smash Ultimate Direct before it came out, the one that revealed World of Light. Yeah, so right, yeah, and then they also revealed Piranha Plant in there as well and whatnot. But yeah, so when they revealed that, right after the Direct was done, you could go pre-order it. Like before the game was even out, you could go pre-order the Fighters Pass. So I think they will probably do that again, if we get it at all. If we get the Fighters Pass Season 2 anything at the Game Awards, they will probably do a pre-order now. It'll be the same price. It's the same exact thing. 5 characters, 5 stages, music. $25. You can buy all the packs separately. When they come out. So in this case, it would be Challenger packs 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. They'll be like $6 each, or you can buy the Fighters Pass Season 2 for $25. It's another Fighters Pass. It works exactly the same way, just more characters. Now, we don't know if there is actually going to be another Fighters Pass 100% because they haven't said, of course. But so when Terry was revealed back in September, they did say that more DLC was coming. They straight up said more DLC is coming beyond the Fighters Pass. They didn't say it would be another Fighters Pass. They just said that there was going to be more DLC. So technically speaking, it could just be 2 characters or 3 characters, maybe not even the full 5. But and honestly, that wouldn't completely surprise me because right now, oh wait, we're gonna have how many slots are left? I believe right now there are 2 slots remaining. 2, maybe 3. I forget how many slots are left. Like on the CSS. Like not that the CSS 100% confirms anything, but I'm sorry, not the CSS. The SSS, the stage selection screen. So right now, yeah, there would be 2 spots left. Right now there are 2 spots left. And of course, the 5th character is going to fill up another slot for his stage, or whatever stage for the character. You know what I mean? I'm not talking right now. And then we're going to have 1 spot left. So actually, take back everything I said about the stage selection screen because I'm an idiot. Because I didn't know how many there were at this particular moment. But no, so oh man. So yeah, so here's what they're probably going to do. They're probably either going to shrink the SSS to cram in more stages for the additional DLC, or they will have a button like they did on 3DS. If you remember, on Smash 3DS, if you had all the DLC installed, they would have pages. Like, if you had all the DLC characters, they wouldn't be on the regular screen. There would be an option that said, extra fighters, and then there would be a whole screen just for the DLC. And they did the same thing for the stages, too. Or they were their own screen. They might do that, although that wouldn't really work as well. Well, actually, no, they did that. They did that in Wii U. They had the DLC stages button, which I didn't really see the point why they did that, but they did that. So, but here's the difference. I don't know if they're gonna actually make a separate page for it because there's already like 100 things on the screen. It would be kind of weird to have like 100 stages and then it's just like 2 or 3 stages on its own screen. That'd be kind of weird. I think they're just gonna shrink it. That's what I think they're gonna do. I think they're just gonna shrink it to cram in like another 5 stages or whatever. But yeah. So yeah, all of the current Fighters Pass, all 5 stages, there would be 1 spot left, which they could have for a extra stages button, or they could like move all of the DLC stages over there. Like, so basically, when like the 6th stage comes out with the first Fighters Pass Season 2 character, they will add a like DLC stages button, and that will have a page where all the DLC stages ever released are on there. I don't know if they're gonna do that though. They're probably just gonna shrink the, like how they do with the character selection screen, where like the more characters they add, they just make the icons smaller so they can cram in more. They'll probably literally just do that, and I'm overthinking all of this. I probably am overthinking all of this, but I'm just, thinking. I'm just thinking, but you get my point though. So, yeah. So, I guess the general gist is, yeah. So, 5th DLC reveal, 100%. And then a Fighters Pass Season 2 teaser and pre-order is likely, but I'm not going to 100% say it's happening. So, that's what's going to happen with Smash. But there's one other game. Well, actually, there's a couple they could do. Like, they could put Bayo on there, and they could do Prime 4. But, okay, Prime 4 is not happening because they literally just restarted development earlier this year. So, that's not happening. Bayo, possible, but I'm not betting on it. And, of course, they could totally just reveal a brand new game, but I don't think that's going to happen. So, we're going to get Smash, and then we're going to get Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. I don't know how in-depth it will be, but we will get a teaser. Oh, we technically already got a teaser at E3. You get my point, though, right? Man, I've probably said you get my point like 15 times already this video. Maybe even more. I don't really know. But we will get the Breath of the Wild 2 teaser. Or, sorry, we will get a Breath of the Wild 2 trailer. In some shape, way, or form. It could be a 6-second nothing, or like a minute long, whatever. Like, whatever it is, we're gonna get something, probably. I'm not gonna say it's 100%. A month ago, I would have said it was 100%, but I'm gonna scale that back to a like 70-75%. Probably gonna happen, but not a guaranteed lock. Smash, 100%. Like, the 5th character is 100% happening. But Breath of the Wild 2, I'm gonna scale that back a little bit to like 75%. Still very likely. Will most likely be there, but I won't be shocked if it's not there. One thing I can tell you is 100% though is if we get Breath of the Wild 2 anything, we are not going to get the name. We are not going to get the name. That's my prediction. I think they are going to save the name for E3, which I know is a long time from now, but I'm just being realistic. I think they're going to save it for E3. We're going to have to wait until E3 2020 to get the actual name, is my theory. But if we get the name, awesome. If we don't, I won't be surprised. I guess while we're talking about that, let's sidetrack a little bit, talking about Breath of the Wild 2. This is not a Game Awards prediction by any means, but I mean, they could show actually, would they give us a release date? Okay, here's another prediction. If we get Breath of the Wild 2 trailer, no name, right? We're not going to get any name. But we'll get a release date. And when I say release date, I don't mean like, November 22nd, 2020. No, I mean like we're just going to get like the year. Maybe even like it'll be like holiday 2020. It might not even be that. It might literally just be 2020. Yeah, we'll probably get a release date, and by release date I mean like the year, which they did for Breath of the Wild several times. Like, for example, when it was shown at E3 2014 and we got that cool scene of the Guardian chasing Link. it said 2015 at the end, and that was it. Fast forward to November 2015, when we got that little teaser in the direct that revealed Cloud, when they were talking about Twilight Princess, and it just said 2016. They'll do that same thing again. It'll literally just be like, they'll show the teaser for Breath of the Wild 2, they won't give the name, and at the end it'll just say 2020. That is all we're going to get, 2020. That's their target. It could be delayed. I mean, look at Breath of the Wild, that was delayed a couple times, but I don't think this is going to get delayed because all of this stuff is already there. They already have a ton of assets, they already have the engine, they already have... it's basically the Majora's Mask of Breath of the Wild. They're going to make a brand new game based on existing assets, so they can crank the game out a lot faster than the original. So, oh yeah, and the Switch Pro will launch alongside it. That's a whole separate video right there, the Switch Pro, whether or not it really exists, when it's going to come out, what specs it will have, will it do 4K at all, like anything like that, but I might make a video on that later, but yeah, I do think there is going to be a Switch Pro out. They're probably not going to call it that because, of course, Sony already basically owns the word Pro now. Like, basically, once you use it, you basically have it. So, like, there's going to be the PS5 Pro and the PlayStation 6 Pro and all that stuff at some point. Like, we all know it's going to happen. And like, Microsoft, they might just continue. I mean, well, actually, Microsoft changes their names. They might not. Like, of course, like, they're not going to call the next Xbox Xbox 2. It's going to be something else. Right now the name is Scarlet, but that's obviously just a code name like Scorpio was, and like NX was the code name for the Switch. I would have been totally cool if they called the Switch the NX. That would have been kind of a cool name, but hey. The Switch is here, and the name makes perfect sense. But yeah, I don't think they're going to call it the Switch Pro. They're probably going to call it the Switch XL or the Switch Max or something like that. But it's not going to be Switch Pro. But we're all calling it the Switch Pro because that's just what we as a community have decided to call a more powerful Switch that maybe would support 4K or just would be faster. We just call it the Switch Pro because that's what we call it. That's not going to be at the Game Awards. I want to make that very clear. The Switch Pro is not going to be at the Game Awards. That's not happening. No, I mean, like, Breath of the Wild 2 is going to come out in holiday 2020. It's going to release alongside the Switch Pro, and they will announce the Switch Pro in like July of 2020. It's not going to be at E3 because Nintendo never reveals hardware at E3 anymore. I mean, look at the Switch Lite. Look at the 2DS XL. Look at the 2DS itself. Look at the new 3DS. Like, none of them were announced at E3. The Switch wasn't even announced at E3. They don't announce hardware at E3 anymore. So it's going to be like the month or two. It's going to be like July or August. They'll announce the Switch Pro. They'll start marketing it, and then they're going to market it right alongside Breath of the Wild 2. And they're going to be like, hey, play the hotly anticipated sequel to the best, to one of the best games of all time. Plays best on Nintendo Switch Max, coming November 21st, 2020. You get my point. Again, with using that phrase because I can't stop using it. But anyways, so I've already rambled on enough. You get the point. So that's what I have to say on the Game Awards. I was going to talk about some other topics in this video, but this video is probably long enough as it is. So we'll save those other topics for another time. But yeah, that's my thoughts on the nominees for the Game Awards and what they are going to show. So yeah, the Game Awards is going to be a very, very interesting year this year. Seeing, will Death Stranding win? Will Smash win? Who's the next Smash character going to be? Are we going to see that Breath of the Wild 2 trailer? What are we going to see in that trailer? It's going to be a very interesting and fun Game Awards, to be sure. And so yeah, as usual, actually no, last year I didn't stream the Game Awards, which I kind of kicked myself for not doing. I streamed every Game Awards up, even 2015. With my webcam. It was a terrible stream. Like, this was back when I had my old piece of junk computer, and I used my webcam for everything. Well, not everything, but it was either my webcam or my phone, so I decided to use my webcam. It was a horrible stream that's buried and no one's ever going to see it again. But basically, ever since 2016, I've been doing a proper... 2016, 2017, I did a stream for the Game Awards. 2018, I didn't, because I didn't think there was going to be anything. I didn't think there was going to be any like, I didn't feel like streaming the Game Awards in 2018 because I didn't think there's probably not going to be anything there's probably not going to be anything super big, right? Then Joker got revealed, and I immediately regretted not setting that up, because now it's a hole right there that, you know, I got, you know, well, actually, no, I didn't get the original either, but, oh man, that's a whole other thing right there. So, yeah, because I wasn't able to react to, I wasn't there live for, well, actually, I was there live, but, like, I wasn't, like, I was stuck at school when, Smash got revealed back in, like, March 2018. I'm really mad that I couldn't be here to hear, like, you know, had, like, the stream going with all my friends and everything. That would've been really awesome. We would've flipped out, man. But, yeah, so... Okay, again, I know I'm rambling on here. The video is probably like 30 minutes long by this point. I actually don't know how long it is, but it's probably at like the 30-minute mark at this point. So yeah, Game Awards. I'm going to be streaming it this year. I learned my mistake from last year. I didn't do it last year. I missed Joker. I mean, I saw Joker live. You know, I was watching it in the living room, but you know, I wasn't streaming it. I'm not going to make that same mistake again. Especially now that Breath of the Wild 2 is probably going to be there, it's even doubly more important, because Smash is nominated for Game of the Year, we're going to get the Smash 5th DLC, and we're probably going to get Breath of the Wild 2. There is no way, unless there's like a lightning strike and the power goes out or something, there's no way I'm not going to be reacting to that live. So, I've already got it up on YouTube. You go to the main channel. I want to make sure, yeah, for those of you, again, that don't really know, all of the streams are still being done on the main channel, but the actual highlights, like after the fact, is on this channel instead. But you can see the original stream in a link in the highlights video. For example, the September Direct, the highlights video is on this channel, and there's a link to the original unlisted stream. Well, it wasn't unlisted when it was live, obviously, but unlisted after the stream was done. So it's not viewable normally on the main channel. You have to go to the secondary channel and go to the highlights video. You get the point. So I will be streaming the Game Awards this year, so definitely looking forward to that. I don't know if anyone's going to be joining me. I'll probably have Dylan again. Someone's going to be there. There's no way I'm not going to have... I'm going to have someone there, so it's not just going to be me. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it, hoping I see at least one of you guys there, although I'm not betting on it, because most of my streams outside of E3 don't do all that well. But hey, I can hope. But, okay, so enough. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the Game Awards. I'm looking forward to it. And yeah, so that being said, this is Logan589XP. And I'll see you guys at the Game Awards in a couple weeks. I'll see you later.